well-known brands or catchy phrases hold more value. Next, consider search and ads traffic. If you are buying to invest, do your research and pick domains with high search traffic and commercial intent indicated by ad presence. Tools like SEMrush and Google Keywords Planner provide invaluable. Also, don't overlook domain extensions. In the Web3 realm, this becomes even more intriguing as you own the top-level domain (TLD) and can offer unlimited second-level domains (SLDs). Future growth outlook is another crucial factor. Domains expected to gain popularity can be worth a fortune in the future. With Freename Web3 domains, you're not just buying a name, you're investing in a piece of the decentralized digital landscape. There are no renewal costs, and once you purchase your domain, it's yours forever. Also, you can earn royalties every time someone gets a domain on your TLD. Hear from renowned entrepreneurs and domain investors what they think about Web3 domains.
I love Freename. I absolutely love Freename. Seriously. Those who are considering buying TLDs from Freename, don't go cheap. Go for the most expensive ones. I'm not a shareholder of Freename. But please buy the best that you can. And when you are prepared to buy the best you can, check out what is higher. Go for the very, very best. The life of human beings or the history of human beings keeps proving and proving and proving. It is better to overprice, to overpay. For the best product possible, for the best possible, it is better to overpay 2 times, 5 times, 10 times once than buying secondary value or secondary quality service or product and then keep regretting it, keep buying others similar, keep losing money, not being able to sell stuff. Please invest only in the very, very best. Buy less, but buy the best.
Personally believe there is great opportunities in the Web 3.0 sphere, right? And this is why I've added the Web 3.0 field into, as a core component of our event, because I believe it's important, it's innovative, and there is lots of, interest from the younger generations, all these, NFTs, blockchain, all these cool keywords. So I believe there is lots of potential, and that's where we're at.
I don't know what they're going to be when they grow up. And so I think there is room to be diversified. And the last thing that Web3 does is it opens up spaces for new entrants. Would you rather be the 150 millionth .com name registered, or it's like looking at a ticket office for concerts? You got this line that's a little shorter. Well, I don't know if that concert's going to be good. I don't know if these Web3 spaces are going to work. But at least I'm going to have a much better seat at the table or a much better place in line. And so I think that's how I try to diversify.
Remember to check the banner on our website for discounts. We always have some for new and existing users. Happy shopping!
All right, everybody.
Was that our new intro?
Well, I'm testing out some new stuff. I was trying to get one downloaded so it wouldn't have to be from YouTube, but that didn't work out very well. But there's an intro to Monday Night Domains. Woo!
It's Monday night. It's domains. It's Monday Night Domains.
It's Monday Night Domains. Now, I think the service we use updated or something. I currently cannot see how many viewers we have, which is not fun.
Well, let me
but that's okay.
Let me go to X and retweet. We're live.
If anyone isn't here, hopefully you're here. Please share, retweet, repost the space, and let's get as many people in here talking domains as we can. So I'm just going to assume that there's people on here, even though I can't see, which I don't love. Let's see. I'm going to mess
How do you spell dilemma?
Dilhema. There might be 2 L's. I'm not sure.
I'll put quandary.
Or autocorrect is.
Quandary is Quandry, right? quandary. It's giving me the fuzzy letters.
I don't know actually. Well,
All right, hold
I'm
on.
gonna
Let me
assume there's
just.
people watching. That's gonna be a little crazy. Maybe if I expand the screen. Anyways, let's get back to Monday Night Domains. What we're really here to talk about. How's it
Yeah,
going, guys?
we had some interesting things happen this week in the domain news. Actually, it's going good. I'll answer with that first. It's going good.
Okay.
It's a Monday. Got back. You come in on a Monday, you click your email, you hope it says, oh, you sold a bunch of names over the weekend. And then it doesn't. And you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Domain names are terrible. Nothing's selling. So you're only left to do one thing.
Work harder?
Buy some more. I've got to buy more. If I buy more, then I'll have a better chance of one of them selling. Instead of saying, why don't I work on selling the ones I have now?
Why wouldn't you want to work on selling the ones you have now? I like that idea.
Because it's so much funner to buy more. And you think that by buying, it's like hitting the slot machine. You're like, if I just keep putting money in and pulling the wheel, I'll finally get a win, right?
Yeah.
And it'll say, ding, 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 you won. But you only won 3 coins and you had pulled the wheel 11 times. But you feel like you got a win. And a lot of people are in domaining just to get a message that they sold a domain. They don't care how many it takes. They just want to get that message that they sold one. And that's okay.
That's fair.
It's okay.
I mean, it's nice to sell things and make money.
And if the ones you sell are for enough money, but just remember, that money's got to pay for a lot of stuff. You got a lot of mouths to feed. You have all the domains you bought today, all the expenses of maintaining those domains, paying for your life and your groceries. So if you're not full-time, at least if you have another job that can pay your bills, that's the best way to domain.
Yeah.
So then you have in the future, how many times are you going to renew the name? Now that you bought it, now that you brought that puppy home and you put it in your house, you can't.
Don't call it a puppy.
Well, I do.
Because I've got a name expiring today. And I've got a cat sitting here with me, and I'm like, I would never let her expire.
And that's why I have a blog post that used to be on my Twitter. Puppies should be cared for, but domains are not puppies.
Domains are not. I agree with this statement.
So
Am I laggy on your side, by the way?
You are jumpy, yes.
Okay. I don't know how to fix that.
So domains are not puppies. Domains are not puppies. You will not be considered a bad person if you don't renew a domain name. That domain name will not look at you with little puppy dog eyes and say, why didn't you renew me? VeriSign, the company that owns .com, and whatever company owns your domain name will look at you and say, thank you very much for the money that you gave me for that domain that's not worth anything that you just reviewed.
I don't like this conversation.
I know.
I got too much heart in the animal world over here to start comparing things that I have.
That's why I'm just simply saying domains are not puppies.
Or cats.
Julie, are domains puppies?
No, or cats.
There you go, or cats.
We're fair. We're equal housing here. I'm sorry I'm so jumpy. I've tried to turn off my camera quite a few times and it's not working.
Well, maybe it's me. So anyway, knowing that we may have people listening, or might be listening to replay, I wanted to give you 2 things, and then we'll end about 7:25 tonight.
Okay.
Buying domains is very interesting because some domains are riskier than others. But the best way to look at a domain name is not I paid $500, so that's a risky domain, but I paid $1,000, so it's not. Or I paid $10, so it's not that risky. Here's the key to looking at your domains. How much of the price that you paid was near the wholesale value of that name? And then how much extra did you pay for the chance that it may sell? So, for instance, there was a name today at GoDaddy Auctions. Let me look at it here. GoDaddy expired names. If I look at the names that are on auction at GoDaddy, this means people have let these names go. They've said, we don't want them. And GoDaddy is selling them to other people. And there's a name right now that's on auction this week, STQ.com. So 3 letters, STQ. And that already has a bid for $14,000.
Oh my gosh.
And then I could show you a name like Peako.com, Peako.com, that has a bid of 220. But let's unpack them. The 3-letter .com. What's that?
I was going to say, I like the second one better because it's an actual word. It's only 2 syllables.
Right. But the 3-letter domains are very much in demand. Every one of them's taken. And most people have a price that they'll pay for any 3-letter domain. They'll pay $12,000. It doesn't matter what the letters are. Because holding it and waiting for a company or a person with those initials or a product with those initials has proven to be a successful strategy. So the people who have bought them for 12 to 15,000 and sold them for 100, they know that that's worth 12. So when you look at the fact that it's got a $14,000 bid, the way you think about it is 12,000 of that money is kind of like a bank account. It's always going to be there. If next week I had to sell it, I could probably get 12 out of it. So I'm bidding an extra 2 for the risk, for the chance it might sell for more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But Pico, as much as it's a great short word and it has a high appraisal value, you couldn't just go out tomorrow and say, I want to get $500 for it.
It doesn't have inherent value.
Exactly. So you're paying an extra $200 that's pure chance value. But if the chance pays off, it could be worth 10 or 15,000.
Right.
So that's where money management is important. Are you investing in expensive domains that also have an inherent value? Or are you investing in all risk? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm either going to make money or I'm not. And every month I could either win or lose. And on months I win big. And so that's a way to think about domains rather than just looking at their price and saying, well, I have 6,000, give me a $6,000 domain. You could buy a $6,000 domain that has 5,000 of inherent value and 1,000 of risk value. Or you can buy a name like an AI name right now. Probably has 6,000, but it might be worth 60, but you're not going to be able to sell it in a couple years. You know what I mean? So that's the best way. So that's a difference between just saying, the prices are there, and then More Than SEO's got an abbreviation
I was
for
gonna
it.
say that checks out. Anything crypto related right now is going to go pretty high.
Right, but you have to ask yourself, do they want it? So a Q still isn't really as great a thing at the end, because you think of, how many last names do you know of that begin with a Q?
Yeah.
You like whether it's 3 or 4 or 5 letters, you like the C at the end for corporation. Those a C at the end of a 3-letter for corporation is really good. You know what I mean? Because you have,
or I for incorporated.
What's that?
I said, or I for incorporated.
Yeah. And like TSI and PBI and SBI, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, okay, I can see, a company wanting to get the short version of their name for that. But just the fact that you know it means that everyone else knows it too. But it's a different type of investing. So you have to analyze, what type of investor am I? Do I have a big bankroll, a big bank, and I can go into the best quality and pay a little bit more than other people? Then that's a different strategy than if you say, hey, I don't have a lot of money to invest in domains, but I'm going to try to choose some really risky bets, but I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to choose really wisely. And then the last thing is diversification. I think it's hard to be in both. If you only have high quality assets, you're not going to get to ring the bell, but maybe once a year.
Yeah, but that once a year could be enough.
Right. But if you want to get some action other times, you have to sell your high quality assets for less because you're like, oh man, I haven't sold a name this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Julie, you want to buy STQ for 17,000. I'm only going to make 1,000, but I feel like I need to sell something. You know what I mean? But if you also had some other names where you got 1,000 here, 2,000 there, you know, and at the same point, you don't want to have all super risky names because in a bad market, or if you need to get $3,000 really quick, you don't have a name you can go to get that $3,000. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I need the money. I got to get the money. I need something that'll sell. I'll put it on a message board. It'll sell right away. I'll get the money and I'll figure out how to replace it later. And this works whether you're talking about Web 2 domains or Web 3 domains.
Right.
If you're going to Freename and you want to buy like dot stocks, that might be $11,000.
That's
but that's one that people really recognize. And if you buy dot stocks 123, that still could be cool, but there's really no inherent value. But if someone does like it and you can get $3,000, you made a huge profit.
Right. So what would you say is your proportion of high risk versus like easy to liquidate in your portfolio? Ideally, what would it be?
Yeah, I have way too many low priced, hard to liquidate.
Okay.
So about 2 years ago, what's that?
I said that's because you buy because you like it.
Right. But even though I've made the decision that I want to own more high value names, I'm going to wait for the next bad market to buy them.
Right.
I don't want to go out to the current market, which has had the whole COVID, people staying at home, people want domain names, a lot of money in the business, people making money, prices are high. I don't want to decide that I want high value names when prices are high, even though I could sell them. I'm going to be like, okay, next time we have a downturn, people are like, I don't know if domains are really worth anything. The market's weak. And then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, I got to get out of this name for $5,000. Then I want to have the $5,000 there to get the best name.
Right.
To where if you buy in a down market, the inherent value of a name in the down market is really good because you have two chances to win. The market gets better, so your inherent value goes up, plus you can sell it to an end user.
Good to know. I like that. It's a bunch of good stuff to keep in mind. I think the big thing that you've touched on is just diversifying your portfolio, always making sure you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And I think it's a great thing to remember to do as a domainer, because it's fun to be like, oh, I only have the best, but it's like, is that actually functional? You need a few that you can always just...
Yeah, and I think we're going to see some changes hopefully this year, hint, hint, from a company that we know and well that's one of our sponsors, where you might be able to have a choice of buying part of a really good domain name without having to buy the whole thing. So we'll keep you updated on that.
That is cool. That's something I've been excited about since getting into domains, because that'd make it a lot easier for us younger kids who don't have a lot of money to get into the business.
And still be in good names. And not have to buy a 3-word, 23-character name or something, you know what I mean? And then hope that it sells. And if it doesn't sell, you're like, oh, domaining is terrible. But it was just the fact that you had to pick one name to represent domaining instead of picking something that already had value. Now, you might not be able to make 20-1 on the high-quality names, but it's a balance.
Right. Let me read this question from More Than SEO. He said, having some trouble with my testing. So have you seen any results in Google can index a Web3 website built on a Freename SLD if using the Noto DNS option? Otherwise, we'll restart testing it now.
Yeah, I don't understand the DNS option, the Noto, as much as I should. I know that your reseller page is searchable on Web 2.
Right.
But I don't know until someone comes up with a search engine for the Freename universe. And I almost feel like the results that you would want to have a page that would search all the Freename TLDs in Web3 and then report those results in a Web 2 website that everybody can see.
Right.
And then when you wanted to click through to that result, it would say you need the Freename extension to see it.
That
But you
doesn't
can
sound
see-
too difficult to
right.
do.
And I just don't know how to, but that's what I'm thinking from your question is that it would be like being at a really cool club and hearing some great music, and the door says, click here, go through this door to see really good music. Oh, you need to pay $5 or you need to give the secret handshake or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're advertising what is there to get
It's at
people
least
to wanna do it.
findable. And I definitely
like Netflix did. They advertise what movies are on Netflix.com so that you download the Netflix app to see the movie.
right. No, 100%. It would just be interesting with the SEO because it would all be like it would be attached to a Web 2.1, Web 2 SLD. I don't know. That'd be weird.
But so say I did it with Planet V. So I have .v, and I could have 100 websites in my .v in Freename, and none of them were searchable.
Right.
But on my vdomains.io, I had a page that said, look at all these websites that are in the Planet V, and I could put the website and then a couple keywords.
Right.
And if someone searched for Planet V Sports, it would say sports.v is linkable right here. You have to have the Freename plugin to get to it.
Cool. It's definitely in the future. And as I say every week, Web3 is moving so fast that nothing's out of the question.
Yeah, and some of it has been done before. When I was involved with NewNet back in 2001, the largest internet company at the time was called, can't remember now. It's called Idea Lab. And they launched toys.com and they launched all the biggest internet companies. Mm-hmm. And they started a thing called NewNet where they had their own TLDs. And they just, when you downloaded Real Player, which would be like Spotify today, to listen to music, you could see all these new TLDs. So, it's been done before, so I think it'll be done again.
Perfect.
All right, I got one more thing to leave with, and then we'll end. We had a security breach at a registriar last week.
Oh, no.
And the registriar was Squarespace, and they had bought Google domains.
Yeah, they're a big
one.
So
it got reported because Unstoppable Domains, which is a Web3 company, had trouble with some spoofing, but it came from some mistakes that Squarespace made when they were what's called migrating all the names from Google domains to their service. And they created like placeholder accounts for these new accounts coming over, and someone figured out how to access them. And so what it brings to mind is, even though we talk about domains kind of casually, buy them, sell them, flip them, if this was 20 or 30 years ago, your domain would have a folder in your safe that would have a certificate of your ownership filed and stamped with the city government. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It would have a gold seal embossed that you owned this asset or these stock certificates. There would have been a respect and a physicalness to what you own that would have said, keep this in a safe. You know what I mean? And now you have to realize that it's through a registriar account, and it's really your job, because the registriar will always have an excuse about what happened. You know what I mean? But you really do, for core domains, like if we were operating MondayNightDomains.com, I would want to put it on the double secret security. And so that's what I encourage everyone to do. If you have domains where you're operating your business on them, or your main email, like for me, Paige How, I am going to look this week to redouble my security on pagehow.com, because that's my main email address, paige@pagehow.com.
I think that's really great to point out, because it can happen to anybody. Anything that's internet based like that could be.
All right. Well, listen, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you back next week with some more great ideas about domaining. Thank you to our sponsor, Freename. You can reach them at freename.io, and good luck. Julie, hope you have a good week. Any other thoughts tonight?
Hopefully when you guys see me next week, I will not be freezing every movement. So I will be a lot more fun to watch. And I sincerely apologize for whatever's causing it.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everybody.